They say history is written by the victors, but what if the real victors weren't just rewriting it, they were erasing it? Because underneath our cities, under layers of dirt and silence, lies the corpse of a civilization they don't teach in school. Tartaria, it wasn't a country, it wasn't a myth, it was a global empire, unified, advanced, harmonious. Its architecture reached the heavens, powered by frequency, magnetism, and ether. No wires, no fossil fuels, free energy in every tower and spire. And then it vanished, not slowly, suddenly, buried in mud. The mud flood, they call it, like it was just some random natural disaster, but look closer. Why are the windows of old world buildings underground? Why are doorways covered halfway in soil? Why are entire first floors sitting beneath modern street level? They say they dug the city out as it grew, but that's a lie. These cities were buried intentionally. From Paris to St. Petersburg, from Chicago to Melbourne. The same style, the same buildings, the same story. Something happened, a cataclysm, or a cover-up. Some say it was a war using tech we don't even understand today, directed energy, sound weapons, Tesla technology weaponized. Others say it was divine, or cosmic. But whoever caused it had one goal: wipe the slate, start over. Out went the towers and domes, pulling power from the sky. In came smokestacks and coal. Out went free energy. In came rent, debt, slavery to point zero. Then they rewrote the timeline. They called it progress. They gave us Darwin, dinosaurs, the spinning globe, and a brand new origin story. They burned the old books. They bombed the old cities. They rebranded Tartarian structures as Victorian or Gothic. But the names changed, the stone didn't. You walk past the truth every day. Buried under pavement, disguised behind facades. Your city is built on top of the last one. They didn't just erase a civilization. They erased our memory of what we used to be. But the evidence is everywhere, in the architecture, in the maps. In the anomalies they can't explain, they'll call you crazy for even asking. But deep down, you know, we used to build like gods. And then they buried it all in mud, buried empire. Part 2, what they covered with mud, was power. This wasn't just architecture. It wasn't just buildings. Tartaria was a system. A world built on resonance, not resistance. On natural law, not man's law. On energy from the sky, not from your wallet. They weren't stacking bricks, they were tuning frequencies. Cathedrals weren't churches, they were machines. Ever notice the domes, the spires, the copper roofs? They weren't decorations, they were antennas, pulling energy straight from the ether, powering lights, heating buildings, moving water without a wire. No oil, no gas, no grid. That's why they had to destroy it. Because you can't enslave a world that's self-sufficient.
Buried Empire. Part 3. The World Fairs, the Fires, and the Final Reset. You've seen the architecture, you've felt the mud. Now let's talk about the cleanup, because burying Tartaria wasn't enough. They couldn't just leave the remains sitting there, half buried, still buzzing with energy. They had to erase it, burn it, blow it up, and sell you the story that they built it all in just 2 years. Enter the World Fairs: Chicago, 1893, San Francisco, 1915, Paris, St. Louis, Buffalo, London. They called them celebrations of progress. But what they really were was a demolition tour. They showed off entire cities of impossible architecture, white stone towers, domes, and columns that rivaled Rome and Athens. But here's the kicker. They told the public it was all temporary, that they built it from wood and plaster, that after the fair ended they destroyed it all, and most people believed it. Look at photos of the Chicago World's Fair. Electric lights, canals, trams, massive Greco-Roman buildings, intricately detailed, supposedly built in 2 years, then torn down on purpose. That's not construction, that's occupation. They inherited these buildings, they used the fair as an excuse to show them off one last time. Then destroy the evidence. Same thing happened everywhere. Then came the fires. San Francisco, 1906, Chicago, 1871, Boston, Toronto, St. Louis, Baltimore, even Moscow, even Constantinople. Great fires swept through every Tartarian stronghold. Like clockwork, always blamed on a lantern or a cow. Right, wooden homes survived, but massive stone and brick structures gone. The ones that didn't burn were dynamited under the excuse of modernization. and in their place, boxy government buildings, skyscrapers, monuments to the new world. It was the final phase of the reset. They buried the old world in mud. They showed off the ruins in world fairs. They burned what was left. Then they taught your grandparents it never existed. All that's left now are fragments. Domes turned into capitol buildings. Cathedrals repurposed as museums. Obelisks standing in city centers with no origin. And entire underground cities still hidden beneath our feet. You were never meant to ask. But now that you're asking, you see it, don't you? We didn't evolve from cavemen to iPhones. We devolved from Tartaria to TikTok. They didn't just steal our past. They replaced it with lies. They gave us monkey men, space fantasies, spinning globes, and debt slavery. And they told us it was science. They told us it was progress. But progress is building for eternity. Progress is free energy. Progress is living in harmony with the earth. Tartaria was that, and they wiped it off the face of the earth. But they missed one thing. You, awake, digging through the rubble, remembering what they tried to erase. The empire may be gone, but its spirit is rising again,